Welcome to Meares Show, Mo.
Meares.
Studio Fuck You .0.
Yes.
We have conceded because you as viewers have conceded. We got no comments of the week this week.
We got no comments.
Barely
any views.
15, 8 from the same guy. No views.
The screen.
We're yelling at people that aren't here.
The green screen didn't even work.
The green screen looked like shit. Now we're stuck on a couch and matching orange
shirts.
shit.
I still forgot.
But you know what? Fucking it goes on. We got 4 games to do. Let's get the fuck into them. First game we're going to do, I'm going to cover up my face. Washington traveling to Philadelphia in the NFC abortion.
That is not good.
Of the East. Philadelphia, according to this sheet, is favored by 3, which we've always said is kind of like a push 'em.
It is.
A push 'em?
You got pick 'em.
Pick 'em or push.
You got Nick Foles, 7th in the league in touchdown passes at 16. 0 interceptions. Riley Cooper has caught 5 touchdown passes in the last 2 weeks. The offense is rolling with Nick Foles, and I'll tell you why. They're extending the field. They're throwing downfield. Something that Vic was not able to do for some reason. Either they didn't call a play or he didn't see it. I don't know what the deal was. But Foles is seeing down the field. You throw down the field, he extends, it gives you a chance to run the ball. Shady had 155 yards rushing last week. This team is playing well on defense, holding their opponents at 18 points a game. They can win. They can win a couple more games. They could go 8-8, I think. I don't know. They can't go better than 8-8, but they can go 8-8. And this is going to be one of the wins, one of the last 3 wins. So I would take the Eagles minus the 3.
I don't understand why they can't win at home.
I don't either.
It has been ridiculous how to lose 10 straight at home.
Yes.
Some of the matchups and some of the games they've lost have just been so ridiculous. It's been
mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. So we can look at Nick Foles' season right now. As much as you want to bang him up for the Dallas game, which was pretty bad as a whole, I would say 16-0.
Yes. Starting 4 games. He only started 4 games.
I believe that's what Peyton Manning did this year.
What's that?
16 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the first 4 games of the season. Maybe the win-loss isn't the way it is, but you're in first fucking place.
Yeah.
You're in first fucking place. But I got news for you. Since nobody's fucking watching and we're in this fucking setting, this is what the fuck I have to live with. This fucking shit. I have to fucking sleep under a fucking blanket of fucking Redskins because my roommate's a fucking Redskins fan. So guess what? Because I can't fucking stand this shit, Redskins will fucking win this game somehow because they're in Philadelphia. Second game I'm going to do, I'm going to read off my sheet since we don't have to be fucking good anymore. New England 7-2, traveling to Carolina at 6-3.
Yeah, 5 in a row.
That's in Carolina, and Carolina went to San Francisco and beat the piss out of San Francisco in the fact that they physically beat the piss out of San Francisco. 10-9 is not a beating of the piss, but the piss was beat out of them.
Yes. Their defense is fucking solid. And you know what? If you go back and watch, which I know you're not going to because you don't even watch shows from last week, last year, I said that this middle linebacker that they had, who was a rookie last year, Keckley, was
number 59.
Going to be the shit. And guess what? He's from Boston College, and he is the shit. He is a spectacular middle linebacker, 2nd year in the league. They are going to shut down. They are number 1 in defense in the NFC across the board. And they are in the NFL, they are 2 behind Kansas City. This team has a great defense. My only worry is if they're going to be able to score. But they scored 10 against San Francisco, has a good defense. New England's defense isn't as good as San Francisco. Therefore, and with wherewithal and all these other terms I'm going to throw out, they will cover 2.5 at home. They're going to beat New England, and they're going to win 6 in a row.
The only worry I have about this is kind of a letdown game for them because that was a big game against San Francisco. And they went, and it was a big NFC, and it was kind of like they hadn't played anybody. So it was kind of like the first good team they had played, and they went and they won it. They came back from 9-0, and they scored, and they ran the clock out like champs. This is my thing, though. This is a real deal for fucking New England.
Yeah?
Because your offense is horrific.
Yes.
And this defense, I believe, is the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's a toss-up.
Carolina's.
It's a toss-up between them and Kansas City.
Okay, Kansas City, yes. All right, so let's go NFC. I don't
Without
buy.
doubt.
I don't buy into Seattle's defense because I have them on fantasy, and if I lose another fucking game because of fucking Peyton Manning throwing to the fucking guy that the guy has that I fucking play again, I swear to fucking God, I'll go fucking nuts. But I think this is the week that it comes up. If it was in New England, I'd be like, all right, maybe it's a letdown game. I think there's a possibility to let down, but if Carolina comes in to their home and shuts New England down and holds them under 20 points, win or lose, I got them going to the NFC Championship game.
Nice.
And I have them winning this week.
Sweet.
Third game we're going to do, I guess we're going to have to call the game of the week.
Yes.
One loss between the two
flexed.
teams.
It was flexed to something.
We couldn't come up with a fucking game 2 weeks ago where teams had winning records against each other. This matchup has one loss between the two teams. Kansas City traveling to Denver, 8-1, to a decrepit, crippled Peyton Manning Denver Broncos team. What do you got going on here in our orange?
They're favored by 8 against an undefeated team. Favored by 8.
That's what it says.
I mean, Kansas City coming off a bye, they're going to be healthy. You got Manning with his little bum ankle. They had an MRI. They said it's okay, no further damage. I just can't get over the 8 point. There's no way that I'm giving 8 points in this game.
No.
But I think Denver wins. Here's the only issue. Denver's got Kansas City, New England, Kansas City in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, they're going to lose one of those 3 games. I just don't think it's going to be this one. And I don't think it's going to be New England next week, but we'll talk about that next week. I think they'll lose one to Kansas City. But anyway, I think Denver wins this game at home, but I don't think they cover. You know, this is the first week that they haven't put up 30-plus points this past week. They only put up 28 first week.
Yeah, Meares.
Do you know that they also have 48 touchdowns, and the other 3 teams combined in their division only have 65?
I did not know that.
They have 48 fucking touchdowns this year.
I'm going to give you some knowledge on
Wait,
this
one
game.
more. I got one more interesting
Wow, we
stat.
did some homework.
Top 5
We didn't get a set, but...
Top 5 wide receivers for touchdowns scored this year, 3 of them are on fucking Denver. Wes Welker, Julius Thomas, and Demaryius Thomas
Don't fucking tell me about
all
that.
have 9 touchdowns apiece.
How the fuck you can have a quarterback throw 4 touchdowns in fantasy and lose points to the fucking receiver because the receiver was going against you, and I don't even want to start. All right, so
go ahead, your turn.
I'm going to start with the Hail Mary with Andy Dalton and AJ Green. I played against them too. But I'm going to give you some knowledge on this game, and this is the truth. If Kansas City wins this game, their season is over.
Wow, that would be an interesting take.
They come in and they beat Denver in Denver. They'll lose to them at home.
Correct.
And then by the time it all spins out mentally for them, and Andy Reid running the ship, we've all seen in Philadelphia how that mental shit, they need this loss. This is the biggest loss that Kansas City needs. Put yourself in place. You're not supposed to win going to Denver. You go there, you lose, you roll on, you get to your 14-2, you're 13-3. You're
still
win the division. If they lose in the first round, they lose in the wild card round if they win this week. They need to lose this game because if they win this game, I guarantee you everybody's going to be like, now you're on your road to 16-0, and we're confused about our goals.
What about covering? Are they going to cover?
Oh yeah, I guess the covering is an issue. No, their games are close.
Right, so
they cover. They cover 8. That's ridiculous. But Vegas just doesn't make stuff up because it's their money on the line.
Good.
So that's an 8-point line for a reason, and I think it's because Kansas City needs a loss.
All right.
Final game we're going to do, I'm going to sit up for because I'm tired of looking at my gut.
Nice.
This is not the best.
It's not a good angle, but
it's not a good angle.
It'll work.
But we had good games this week, and the last one, San Francisco traveling to New Orleans. This could be the season for San Francisco.
I'm going back to calling him Colin Pumpernickel, whatever the fuck we used to call him. AJ Pumpernickel.
AJ Pumpernickel.
Because you know what? He's playing like fucking dog shit. He has 9 touchdowns, 6 picks. He's not throwing. He's got 56% completion percentage.
He's throwing for like 112 yards a game.
It's just ugly, and they're awful on the road, by the way. They're 2-2 on the road. They've looked horrible. New Orleans just put the fucking beat down on Dallas.
That wasn't even fun.
I mean, that was a disgrace. Dallas should be fucking throwing up right now.
Rob Ryan on top of it.
And their defense is
Rob
so
Ryan,
if San Francisco can only put up 9 against Carolina, the best defense, New Orleans defense isn't anything to sneeze at. They're pretty good.
At home.
I think they're going to hold San Francisco down, and I like them to easily cover the 3. This might be a blowout, and it might really end, like you said, San Francisco season.
I don't think New Orleans was looking at Dallas as like a huge game either.
I know.
So, I mean, I think Rob Ryan probably was, and probably enjoyed the shit out of just like holding them to squat douche. I mean, what was Tony Romo? Fucking 10 of fucking 24?
Something ridiculous.
10 of 24, and you had 625 yards against them, which is the record for the Dallas Cowboys giving up, and the record for New Orleans having for their entire history. We're talking about histories. San Francisco, I'm with you. I don't think A.J. Pumpernickel is... I think he's in a sophomore slump. I really do. I don't think you bring anything from a defensive standpoint like you did last year.
No.
I mean, that was a battle against Carolina, and maybe you can debate
now Vernon
whether or not...
Davis is out, right? I think he's dead, so...
Have him in my fantasy. Yeah, I needed him in the 4 o'clock game with Peyton Manning not throwing to Meares Thomas the entire time.
So.
Yeah, he's dead.
What happened to Crabtree? How come he hasn't come back at all this season?
Yeah, you got people there saying that are going to come back, but I don't think it matters. I mean, I don't think San Francisco is as good as New Orleans, and I'm going to throw it out there too. I don't think Seattle's as good as other people in the NFC.
That's a good call.
Mainly New Orleans and Carolina.
Correct.
I picked Tampa Bay, and I said that they were
Tampa Bay, Green Bay
in the NFC Championship game, and it makes perfect sense. But
Cassetta Kawaz is out for the season.
Just replay. I ripped my dick, sliding to the right. Oops. But yes, let me take New Orleans easily covering the 3, and then we'll just we'll end it there.
Thanks.
Now it's time for comments of the week. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, well, I'm very disappointed. 15 comments.
Scoldings.
But I will give props to one person only.
An 8 of the 15.
Brown Shoe T2, our most loyal viewer / commenter. He picked every game this week in the comments. And he said that if he went better than 500, we had to do a Bengals game for the rest of the season. Guess what?
2-2?
He went 6-7-1.
He picked every game?
Every game.
And he wasn't 500.
He was not. So guess what? Not doing the Bengals game because they suck.
Bengals aren't good. I don't think anybody's still here.
No, obviously.
But if you are, let's give some fucking comments.
Please comment.
So that we don't have to do this shit making out on a fucking couch, for Christ's sake. Trying to cover up our 300-pound fucking guts.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If you don't comment this week,
this is like a fucking pumpkin pie that you don't want to fucking look at.
If you don't comment this week, next week we're doing the show with our shirts off.
No, no. But I'll wear fucking purple to his fucking gay.